Hello, Capricorn loves. For today's reading, we will be divining your April 2025 monthly predictions for the month ahead. So, for your reading today, we will be using the spellcasting oracle cards. And these cards are like theme cards. So, we're going to start by seeing what your themes are for the month of April. And to all my Capricorns, if you feel called to, I definitely recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for the April 2025 prediction readings, so you can receive like a full overview of what to expect throughout this month of April, or just so you can get some extra guidance on what you're going to be experiencing and working through throughout this month of April. All right, so let's see what does Capricorn need to know for the month of April. There we go. We've got your 3 cards. So let's see. Wow, we have forgiveness. All right, we have forgiveness. We have travel. And we have commitment. All right, so let's see what's coming up for Capricorn with your themes this month. Okay, Capricorn, so I definitely am getting that this month of April, you're really being guided to travel somewhere new, to step outside your comfort zone, step outside the spaces that you've been operating in. I feel that you've been putting a lot of time and energy and effort into something very specific, where you've almost been like hyper focused on something. I feel like this was also a message in, I think, Taurus's reading, if I'm remembering correctly. So Taurus is also coming up. So if you have Taurus in your big 3, you may also want to check out that reading. There could also be like a connection to a Taurus. Okay, somebody who has like a Taurus sun, Taurus moon, or rising as well, in regards to all the messages that we're going to talk about in your reading today, because we just started, but that's coming in very strongly. But I definitely feel that there's something that you've been like really focused on, trying to achieve, trying to receive, trying to build upon, and Spirit's guiding you to take some time away from these things, away from the things that you've agreed to, the things that you have put your time and energy towards committing yourself to. Okay, it's like you need to pull away from it for just a moment so you can see something that you're missing sight of, by being so hyper focused on this one thing. Okay, so travel is definitely coming up, where you're needing to travel outside of your comfort zone. Now for some of you, this could mean needing to actually take like a vacation and go somewhere completely new, get out of your city, get out of your state, and travel to a completely new location and go on vacation and just rest and have fun. But for others, maybe you're not able to do that, and so this is just a sign, a message to just step away from the things that you've been working on and allow yourself to focus on something else, or just give yourself time and space to sort of have a rest day, to take a day off, to like have a vacation at home, or do a staycation if you're able to, or just go out somewhere that you haven't been in a while that brings you a lot of peace. You know, go to like a natural water source, go to the forest, go to the park, go to like a nearby garden area or something, needing to just travel to new spaces that you don't usually find yourself connecting with or being a part of, because there is going to be some connections that are made through stepping outside of your comfort zone and into these unfamiliar spaces, or these spaces that you haven't visited in a long time that you find yourself longing for or missing. Okay, now with this forgiveness and commitment card here, let's see, I feel that some of you, I feel this, when this commitment card shows up, a lot of the time we want to say this is about relationships here, and this definitely could be, but I'm not picking up on that so strongly. I'm really feeling that there's just something that you have been committing yourself to, and it's like something you've been committing yourself to so strongly around like work or some type of project or a hobby, something you're trying to create, something you're trying to call in, and you've been committing a lot of your time and energy and effort and attention towards these things to the point where you've kind of lost sight of all the other aspects of your life. And so it could be where you've also maybe pulled away from some specific relationships in your life. But here, Spirit's saying it's a commitment to yourself that you may have lost sight of and that you're trying to come back to. See this little bubble around the person here on the card? It's like trying to come back into herself, trying to connect with herself once again. And so there is this need to pull away from the things that you're focusing on, hyper focusing on in the physical, and to make time to come back to yourself, and to almost come into like a space where you can seek forgiveness for kind of letting yourself fall to the wayside while you were focusing on these other things that you were trying to work on or call in or manifest or achieve or receive. So yeah, I feel like self-care is definitely going to be a big practice for you throughout this month of April. You're really going to be needing some rest days, some time to come back to yourself, tend to yourself. And wow, look, we have like this light coming off of her here, this light coming off of her here, and then we also have the light right here too. So I almost feel like this light, it's like trying to guide you to break away from the thing that you've been allowing yourself to commit to. And this is you come back to yourself. And this bird is the one that is like the darker bird. So this can also be representing like the shadow aspects. Maybe there are some things that I don't think they've necessarily felt a little painful, but it can be maybe more challenging for you to allow yourself to tend to those parts of yourself, because it may naturally bring up some shadow aspects, but those parts of you are calling you back to yourself, and they're needing your time, they're needing your love, they're needing your attention just as much as this other thing that you've been working on and tending to so strongly. Okay, so let's see if Spirit will give me some examples. So one, Spirit saying we may have some parents who are watching this reading and maybe been focusing a lot of time, energy, and effort into your children's lives, and you're just needing a break. You're needing to come back to yourself, and so Spirit's definitely guiding you. You know, if you can, try to schedule some time where you allow somebody else to, you know, hang out with your kids for an hour or two, just so you can have a break to come back to yourself, tend to yourself. So whether it be like a family member, a friend, babysitter, whatever works out best for you, you know, just get a break from always being with your kids so you can come back to yourself, rejuvenate, rest, do the things that you need to do for yourself and your sense of well-being and your self-care. Okay, another thing is work. Some of you are hyper focusing on work or like a very specific work project. You just, you know, maybe you're like a lead on something. You're the person that everyone is directing everything to, and you're having to make sure that everything is all in a row. Spirit's saying make sure that you're still taking care of yourself. So maybe scheduling scheduling times where people can reach out to you, and then when that time is done, turn your phone off. Your office hours are closed. You can get to it tomorrow. All will be well, because you'll have made that time to come back to yourself, to rest, to rejuvenate, so you can show up even better tomorrow or whenever you reopen your office hours again. Okay. All right. Also, Spirit saying somebody here may also be trying to manifest something, maybe like doing some type of like manifestation ritual or practice. And you're focusing a lot of your time, energy, and attention onto this thing. And so what's coming through with that too is it's like this, almost like a forced commitment, where you're trying to force this thing to come into your life, and you're not really allowing it to come into your life with ease, with trust and surrender. Okay, so there is this need to maybe let it go a little, give it some slack, so that way it can actually come in, and so you can actually make space to receive it. Okay, because when you're so hyper focused on trying to receive something, manifest something, achieve something, or even just get something done, you know, there can be a lot of pushback. Okay, because you're trying to force it and you're not just allowing it to flow in naturally. And that's where Spirit's also guiding you to get connected with nature and to get outside your comfort zone, because you'll be able to tap into that natural flow that nature can teach you and show you, okay, such as through that natural water source that we talked about. But Spirit's saying don't go too much into that, because they want you to go there for yourself and to just be present with nature, with yourself, so you can tune into what you're really experiencing and feeling and receiving in that moment, okay? All right, so just some symbolism that's coming up. I feel like this looks like the North Star there, so somebody might be seeing the North Star, and just like being in awe of it, maybe receiving downloads from the North Star, maybe learning about your North Star in astrology. You also have the white dove here, and this bird, even though it's a dove as well, it's also reminding me of pigeons. So pigeons could also be significant to somebody. Maybe you go to the park and you see a lot of pigeons at the park that day. Maybe you also see a white one, or even a white dove. I don't know if there's like wild. Oh yes, of course there's wild doves. But maybe you'll see like doves out and about too. Anything else? The canoe too. The canoe could be significant to somebody. The oar, paddling, and then the lantern as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards. And you might be hearing my cat. He thinks he's starving. So I apologize for that. He's saying listen to those messages. All right, so we're going to use the Fairy Tarot. This is the deck that I'm using for all the earth signs, and then your Oracle deck is the Green Witch's Oracle deck for all the earth signs. All right, so let's see, what is Capricorn's tarot cards for the month of April? Oh my goodness, my cat is talking a lot. I'm not sure if you can hear him. It's kind of muffled, but because he's on the other side of the door. Okay, let's see what your tarot cards are here, Capricorn. So we have 8 of Autumn. Do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars, going back to school, or apprenticeships. Excellent craftsmanship and long-term projects. Yeah, there's this need to like pull away from something for a minute because you're missing like knowledge or wisdom or insight around it. Okay, we also have Prince of Autumn, dependable, protective, chivalrous, humorous, cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, kindness to others. All right, we also have 3 of Summer. Yes, news worth celebrating, announcements such as weddings, graduations, or births, and friends you cherish. All right, we also have 14 Balance. Okay, take everyone's input into consideration. Merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time. There's no need to rush. Yes. Okay, and I think in this deck, this is the Strength card. I think they have them swapped, even though this is also like representing justice and Libra energy here. But we also have 2 of Winter. Indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. All right, let's see what your last tarot card is here. Wow, we have 19, the Sun. Plans that work out perfectly. Amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations. Gratitude for the blessings of life. Wow, wow, wow. You have a beautiful tarot spread here, Capricorn. I'm loving these cards. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling that, you know, like I said, Spirit's guiding you to take a pause from what you're working on. And not only because there's something that you're missing sight of, like, yeah, Spirit's saying there's something that's not working. You're getting a lot of pushback because you're trying to make something work. You're trying to attract something or achieve something. Receive and achieve something. And there are things that you may not be fully aware of, maybe things that you haven't learned yet, or just something that you're missing sight of, and you may need to pull back and go tend to something else so that way new thoughts, inspirations, ideas can come in around it. Now, what else is coming through though is Spirit wants you to reflect on how far you have come in the commitment that you have been tending to. Okay, I know we have this forgiveness card here, and I do feel that there is some energy around forgiveness that's going to be coming in this month. But again, like I said before, it's like this sense of forgiveness around where you have let things fall to the wayside when it comes to caring for your sense of well-being. That's where the forgiveness is going to come in for you. But because you've been so hyper focused on this one specific thing, when you finally allow yourself to pull away from it, instead of getting so hung up and caught up in this one thing that you've been trying to make happen for this process, you're going to be able to reflect on just how far you've come, and you'll be able to celebrate that and be able to be excited again. You'll have like this renewed energy of excitement come over you for when you return to this thing that you've been committing your time, energy, attention, and efforts towards. And this will naturally help things balance out. Okay, so not only when you pull away from this thing are you going to be finding the missing puzzle piece that you've been seeking, trying to fill in, but you'll also get this time to celebrate and reflect on how far you've come, which is naturally going to bring everything back into balance. You'll also be able to tend to yourself again, take care of some of those things that that you've allowed to like let fall to the wayside, like go get your hair cut, go get your nails done, go to the spa, get a spa day, go do something that you've been wanting to do just for fun, just because you wanted to do it, just to have fun, just to have a good time. Call up that person that you keep ignoring their tags, they keep asking you to hang out. Hey, where you've been? Call them up, go out for lunch, do something fun just because. And naturally things will fall back into balance. You'll get the answer that you've been missing sight of, you've been looking for, searching for. You'll get to celebrate, and you'll also get to take care of yourself and those parts of you that need your attention, that needs that love and care from you. Okay, now for some of you, we do have this Two of Winter here. And so I do feel in relation to this commitment card, because it is underneath it here, and I know I said that usually this is representative of like relationships. So what's coming up is if this is my throat chakra here. Okay, we need to also do some throat chakra clearing. We have a lot of blue cards here, blue, so you may need to do some throat chakra meditations as well, Capricorn. But what's coming up here is that there could be something around a relationship where somebody's like waiting to hear back from you, waiting to hear an answer on something that you've been kind of pushing off, pushing to the side. And like I said, maybe you have some unread text from somebody, or you read them, but you left them unread and they're just waiting to hear back from you. And so this is definitely spirit signaling to you that it may be time to respond to those messages if you're feeling intuitively called to, and if it's something that's been like weighing on your mind. Okay. If it's like something you're going back and forth upon, you're not sure if you're still thinking about it, it's probably because you already know what step you need to take, you're just not taking it. Okay. And once you take that step, you have to trust that the sun's going to come through, the answers are going to come through, things are going to balance themselves out, and then the path forward will naturally open up for you. Okay. But there's definitely like a message coming through here where there's something that you receive guidance on, insight on, or some type of response to. It's just like it's something that may be a little bit more challenging for you to face off with, but it's like that's your way through. And so you have to just move through that energy, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable, such as that energy of stepping outside of your comfort zone. Yes, this month of April is going to be guiding you to step outside of your comfort zone and into those uncomfortable spaces so that you can get through the portal and get closer towards that sun energy, celebration energy, and things balancing out and finding their way back into a space of balance and trust and truth and love and peace and joy. All right, Capricorn. So for this month of April, you're definitely being guided to have some fun. Again, I feel that having fun just for the sake of fun may be something that's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, or just something that you haven't allowed yourself to embrace for a long time. But this is the month to do it. If there's something you've been wanting to do, just because it sounds fun, just because it looks cool, go and do it. Okay, there could also be some events coming up for you, maybe like weddings, graduations coming up, travel plans, and you're starting to prepare for those events. Okay, trust that they will be magical, trust that they'll be fun, and trust that it will be like a breath of fresh air for you, because again, it's going to be pulling you outside of your normal environment, your comfort zone, and into these spaces of new connections, new experiences, and new insight. All right, love, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards. So like I said, I'm using the Green Witches Oracle deck for all the earth signs, and this is a very earth-based energy oracle deck. So it's kind of like gardening messages, and things like that, like seasonal messages. So let's see what's coming up for Capricorn. All right, Spirit wants me to mention the full moon in Libra is taking place on April 12th, and Venus is also going direct, and we just had Mercury go direct as well, but the full moon in Libra is going to be a big one for you, Capricorn, because Spirit's just guiding me to share that with you. And so if there's something you're needing to let go of, something you're needing to release, the full moon in Libra would be a great time to do some type of practice, ritual for you to make peace with something that you're letting go of, removing from your life, and transforming. All right, this is also closing out eclipse season. So if you've been going through it, working through those challenges that we talked about in your reading, this is coming to a close as we close out eclipse season with that full moon in Libra. All right, so we have Mint, abundance, persistence, and proliferation with the Feihu rune right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we have watering can, asking for help, sharing burdens, yes, needing to delegate. All right, if there's some things that you can take off your plate and direct to somebody else to do with house chores at work, even in your personal life, you know, like I'm getting this sense of like, you know, maybe you have some big events coming up and you don't know what to wear, or, you know, like maybe you don't know how to do your makeup, or you just don't want to do those things. Hiring like a stylist to do those things for you, you know, hiring somebody to cut your hair, do your makeup, or pick out your clothes for you. Yeah, like delegating things that maybe you don't feel completely comfortable doing, or where you just need like more time, more freedom in your life, more space. Okay, delegating tasks in those areas. Okay, we also have planning, setting intentions, and optimism. Yeah, planning some trips there. That's right on the travel. Planning some trips, maybe also planning new commitments, new ventures. We also have preserve, security, forethought, and thrift. This is really interesting in connection with the Mint card here. Okay, so right away I'm getting this message that some of you are definitely going to be receiving some type of increase in abundance, maybe like financial abundance and wealth in some way. So salary increase, maybe a bonus, maybe like investments coming through for you, stocks increasing. But as that takes place, you are being guided to maybe hold on to it for a little bit, put it into a savings. Don't get anxious to spend it all. Don't get anxious to choose exactly where you're going to dedicate that to, because there could be something coming up in the next few months that you may need that increase of abundance for. So it's like a blessing. I mean, it is a blessing, but it's like it's got some strings that are attached to it for a future endeavor. Okay, so this could also be like you're receiving this abundance increase because you're going to be taking some trips, you're going to be going on vacation somewhere, maybe you're going to be having some like business meetings across the country, and you're going to want some extra spending money for those trips that you're taking. Or like I said, with like the delegating thing, where maybe you're hiring a stylist, maybe you're hiring a cleaning crew, maybe you're going to need some extra money to be able to pay for those things, which will allow you to have more time in those other aspects and areas of your life that we talked about in your reading today. Okay, let's see. Wow, those messages were like really straightforward, straight to the point. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the symbolism here. So we have the chipmunks, So chipmunks could be significant to somebody. We also have the honeybee, the watering can. Somebody's like growing a garden. We also have this little like fishing lure that's really cool. It's like almost like a pendant. So maybe somebody's going fishing. Maybe that's something that you like to do for fun. Like I said, you know, go do something that you want to do just for fun, just because it's fun. And fishing could be your thing. That's just for fun for you. So if that's a sign for you, that's your sign to go fishing. Again, water source, connected to the water source, and right under that water source card too. So that's really synchronistic there for somebody. Also with this So card here, I feel like you're getting some new inspirations, new ideas coming in. And so by taking time away from the thing that you've been hyper focusing on, from the commitments that you've been tending to, dedicating your time, energy, and attention to, by taking time away and coming back to yourself, you'll be able to receive new downloads for inspiration, insights, and adventures for new projects, new experiences that you want to have, just like overall new vision planning and reflection as to like where you've been versus like where you also want to go in the future. So overall, you're going to be reflecting on like this exciting celebration of reflecting on how far you've come, where you've been, all that you've accomplished, while simultaneously planning out, you know, the next stages of what you're going to be experiencing in work, in life, and in fun too, in your travels and your adventures, and maybe in your relationships as well, and your connections. I am getting like meetings coming up. So like somebody could be having a lot of meetings throughout the month of April, meeting with a lot of like potential new clients, potential new investors, just a lot of like business oriented meetings. Okay. And these meetings could also be connected to the delegation that we talked about, meeting with like people you're interviewing, trying to hire, just to take some of the weight off of like, you know, within your career, within your household duties and things like that. So April, I feel it's gonna, like, I feel like April, it has this energy of being very busy, because Capricorn, like I said, you're a very work oriented sign. You like to be very productive. You like to constantly be doing something. But the lessons that you're going to be experiencing throughout the month of April is in the slowness, is in the surrender to coming back to yourself, to taking a break, to taking a rest day, to going out and choosing to do something for fun, just because it's for fun and not because it has a purpose or a goal attached to it. And that's also where, that's where that golden light comes from. That's where the abundance, the joy, the love, the forgiveness, the answers, the insight that you're seeking is going to come from, is through surrendering to that slowness, to the stillness that your soul is calling you towards this month. So even though you're going to really want to be busy and tending to all these things, and you're probably going to have to, like I said, we had the word meetings coming up very strongly, like people are relying on you. Remember to set those office hours, and when they're closed, they're closed. It's okay. You can reopen them again later on in the day or tomorrow, but make sure that you're making time for you, because again, that's where the magic, that's where the answers, that's where the celebration, the reflection is going to be able to make way and to come in for you. Okay, love, so we're going to pull your last card now. This is from the Animal Messengers deck. And these are just animal guides. So I'm pulling an animal guide for all the signs for the April readings. So if you feel called to, you can call upon this animal guide throughout the month of April to help you work through these energies that we talked about in your reading. All right, so let's see what is Capricorn's. There it is, falling out. Wow, we have rhinoceros. Yeah, look at that. Look at that quote, still the chatter within to see your true path in life. Still the chatter within to see your true path in life. Yes, I feel that when you slow down and you surrender to yourself and what your soul is asking you to do, what your heart's asking you to do, what your body's asking you for, that stillness, that vacation, that rest, that fun time. When you slow down and come back to yourself and surrender to that, the answers are going to come in for you. And be gentle with yourself when those answers come in, Capricorn, because they may take you by surprise, and you may learn or discover that maybe you want something different than what you've been tending to. And it's okay to acknowledge that, and it's okay to accept that and to admit that to yourself and to others. All right, love. So rhinoceros is your animal guide for the month of April. If you feel called to, you can work with this animal medicine throughout this month. Just call upon rhinoceros medicine. You may also be seeing signs and symbols of this animal around you throughout throughout your days, like maybe seeing it. Maybe you're planning a trip to the zoo. Maybe you're planning a trip to Africa and you're going to get to see them in their natural habitat. But maybe you also just see like little stickers of them, or maybe you see them on a billboard or something like that as well. And then also Spirit's reminding me here, we've got the chipmunk, we've also got the fish and the dove. So animal medicine's coming through very strongly for you. We also have the lion here, and then the horse, which is also serving as a beautiful unicorn there. So beautiful. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Here we go. There's the horse with the unicorn. Yes, so those animal guides may also be significant to you, but Rhino is coming through very strong, and so is this chipmunk and the fish there. But that is it for your April 2025 predictions reading, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading today. If you enjoyed the messages that came through, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below letting me know what you vibed with the most. All right, loves. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed April 2025. Until next time. Bye, loves.